Hey, what's going on? So we got all these stories, okay? I mean, this is called balloons, trains, and all the BS. Uh, it's it's farcical. Okay, just for facts, balloons. We pick balloons up, and sure, okay, if they're coming from China. First of all, we could see the balloons when they're in the Pacific Ocean. And these particular balloons follow the wind currents. So they'd come up top, up towards Alaska. They come down Alaska and then shoot through Canada and then pop into the US and kind of cut across. And that's the way the wind was going. It changes. These are the upper altitude winds. And if there's balloons that were in the sky, we would have seen them on the Pacific Ocean. And if they were heading towards us, they weren't identified, they would have shot them down. So there's only two things this could be. It could be either our balloons and they're trying to create another boogeyman and justify whatever the narratives are. We're not going to get into that because those are a bunch of videos by themselves. Or we're in cahoots with the Chinese, and maybe this was the weather thing. Because what was interesting was it followed the wind, and they were the three of them were apart, and, and sure they had cameras on them and all that. What was interesting was that a lot of those days it was clear, which is kind of weird that we had clear skies during some of those flights. Okay, and if they were taking pictures, they went over certain areas where they would have gotten great shots. I mean, when you're up that high, you can get big pictures. You can zoom down and you could count how many cars are in the parking lot and what kind of cars are in the parking lot, and if the smokestack. There's a lot of things you could tell from the sky. So yeah, sure, okay, but I don't believe so. I mean, why would they wait till went all the way across America to shoot it down? Now, this video is totally not about balloons. All right, these are just distractions. Okay, and so the newest one is what I call the fake news, and that was the balloon that they're saying they can't find because they shot it down, and now they're using what? They're UFOs now, balloons and UFOs. More balloons, more UFOs. For school shootings, balloons. It's like, really, are we that stupid? Are we that dumb? And so now there's new balloons, UFOs that the Canadians don't look for them. You can't find them. Really? These are, I believe, weather modification balloons, and I think that these governments are all together on them. They're checking out the winds. Okay, they're using the winds. They're using high altitude conditioning, and it's all about. And they've been telling you they're going to do this. They told you they're going to do this. They're going to spray the skies above the poles with aluminum oxide, and they're gonna use sulfur. There's all kind of patents on that. They've been doing this, and then now they're showing you planes that seed the skies, like, oh, this is new stuff. It's just desensitizing, just normalizing. Now, more BS news, and when they do news, it's not when I say BS, what they tell you is BS. Okay, whether there was balloons or not, there were balloons. People seeing the balloons, but the real reason for the balloons, I'm going to bet they're for weather modification. I'm going to bet that we and the Chinese and a few other governments are all in on this weather. It's really the war. The World War III is stealing who gets the water. I mean, the Chinese are now stealing all kind of water that we're supposed to be getting, from the river, the atmospheric rivers. And I have videos on that, and you could study that and look that up. It's not difficult for these people to do that. Then they get the fake news like, oh, they created that earthquake in Turkey. I don't know about that. That was an earthquake. Okay, sure, they create all kind of earthquakes, fracking, and they maybe could do it, but not sure about that one. That was probably a real earthquake. All right. Now, here we go. Train wrecks. Now, this is complete BS again. I mean, sure, there was a train wreck and there was a plume. But, here's what they don't tell you. First of all, they don't tell you what happens when you burn certain chemicals. I mean, when this stuff burns, it changes to something really bad, okay? And who gives authority as somebody to light it up because, oh, we don't want it to explode? That's BS. They burn that stuff. So wouldn't have to shut down if it's a Superfund site, and that train keeps going, keeps it rolling. And they burn it, and it goes to the sky. I don't know if they thought of the severity. Now they lied to us. You got to remember, they said, "Oh, the cloud went this way and it killed some fish and some chickens." Okay, it's gonna kill a lot more fish. But you have to understand when you have a plume going up, and you've got winds that are low and you got winds that are high, and then it goes past those winds too. So a lot of that plume got way up the ionosphere, past the ionosphere. That's just gonna be floating up there and helping to reflect the sun. That's what they want to do anyways, is reflect the sun. They got all these patents and they're gonna do that. So they're like, okay, yeah, let's we'll get some stuff up there, just like like coal fire plants and kerosene, that they use, and they're using JP8 fuel and jets. So a lot of that goes up. Then the winds were going towards the lakes. So people like me in Cleveland got hit with that way, way, way up. I mean, it's going to kind of dissipate. Dilution to pollution is the solution, right? That's what they did. And then the other stuff, so you got winds going two different ways. So you get the nice cloud going up, but after a while, it kind of goes this way, and whichever ways the winds go, okay? And so it gets dispersed, Now, they lie to you about everything. They lied. Here's some of the lies. They lie Oh, by the way, there was another train derailment a couple days ago in another chemical thing down in Texas, right? That's their news. They're probably watching that one, or we're watching this one. That's how they keep us busy. They keep us preoccupied. And then they lie to us because they want to twist and spin it, and then create false perceptions. So we believe. You watch the news, they're just reading a teleprompter. It's the same pictures, the same stuff, and every once in a while they throw something new. Oh, we got something new, like the Young Turks or CNN or Fox, MSN. They're all reading the same script, man. They just spin it a little bit. They don't know it. They're idiots. They're like worse than puppets. Okay, and so don't turn the TV off, man. Do your own homework. Look it up. Okay, they lie to people in Chicago. Okay, then let's talk about real stuff. These chemicals are bad. Okay, but we're going to talk about nuclear stuff. So Chicago had 6 releases, millions of gallons of water into the storm lines and into wells and stuff. That wasn't all over the news. Oh no, it wasn't. Okay, right now today we have nuclear water. We have reactors leaking into aquifers in Florida. No one's talking about that, and that's contaminating water with radiation. Okay, much worse than this stuff that's in this. Well, the stuff in the sky is bad. It'll kill you. And then okay, here's a good one. Chernobyl. Remember Chernobyl exploded? And it was that plume was supposed to go and do a lot of damage, go over Russia. What did Russia do? They shot missiles into it. They shot missiles into the plume to move the plume so it would rain on certain cities, so they wouldn't get all the radiation. Okay, and those are called. They used sounding rockets, is what they used. Okay, and that's what sounding rockets are designed to do. Okay, we had Fukushima. Right now these idiots are dumping radioactive water into the Pacific Ocean. 12 years later, they had a plume on 3/11/11. That plume came up to the sky. Our president said, "Hey, I'll see you later. I'm going down to the southern hemisphere with all the GE reactors," because GE made all those reactors all over the world's 500 nuclear power plants. Okay, and they're all like ticking time bombs, and zits are going to start popping like zits all over the place, and they are. Half of them are held together by super glue. Half of them, 30. We have so many releases that they don't tell us about. Okay, and so here it comes this cloud, and they go to there's nothing. Don't worry about it. We're fine. We got poisoned by radiation, man, for like 8 days. It was like these were low temperature isotopes, cesium and 138, 134, iodine 131 with short half-lives, and then they didn't test the plates at the regulatory. There's like 80, 90 places, and they put the plates away for a year until the half-lives went down, and they said, "Oh, everything's fine, it's all fine, everything's good." And then they raised our radiation levels of all our food. We have the most radioactive food on this planet. Our fish are radioactive. You walk around a Geiger counter testing your food, you buy one now before you can't get one. Okay, and they got different types, so you got to know what you're buying. And so they lie to us about that. They lie about everything. They're not trying to help us. They want you to turn on a TV. They want you to listen to what they got to say. We're gonna go around. Oh, what do you think of that train wreck? Oh my God, it's so bad. Those poor people in that town. They're making those people sign waivers, man. They're coming back to town. Come back, come back. Hey, come on back. Everything's fine. Oh, by the way, here, sign this before you enter our town. They're getting people sign waivers. Hey, any of you people sign a waiver, you deserve to get nothing because you're stupid and you shouldn't reproduce because that's how dumb you are for doing that. That's stupid. Anybody sign that? Anyways, the whole town's going to be contaminated. Cleaning the dust is one thing, okay, but it's a bigger thing than that. It's like, why? How do they? Who says you could light it on fire? Like, they didn't want a Superfund site in one spot. No, they're gonna just poison 500,000 miles. A little bit, just a little. My last video said just a little bit. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of vinyl chloride, a little bit of aluminum oxide, a little bit of sulfur, a little bit of fluoride, a little bit of nuclear cesium-134, a little bit. It's okay. It meets the EPA limits. Oh yeah, it always meets. But what about all those little bits? You put them in one cup. It's not a little bit anymore. It's a lot. Okay. And our immune system goes down. It may take 10 years for us to get so we're all sick, man. Our hospitals are so busy. You would think that we would be more healthier than we are. We're not. Our food is poisoned, our water is poisoned, our air is poisoned, our TV is poisoned, our news is poisoned. It's totally amazing. So we get these distractions right now, balloons and trains. Unbelievable. And I would say turn off your TVs, quit watching them, do your own homework. And what's really funny is you try to look stuff up now on Google, you can't find it. You can't find. I bet you there's so many people that made videos during that plume when they lit it and they put it all on their YouTube channels. Try to find them. They don't want you to see that. Oh no, you got to see the bullshit from all the news people because they're the ones that get the first 8 pages of Google. And they're all reading a teleprompter because that's all narrative and agenda driven. Man, we are completely being bamboozled. They're lying to us about everything. And for all you know, there was other things going on. I'm sure there were. While the balloons are flying, and they're like, we're worried about spies. The spies are coming. They're looking at us. Oh, the Chinese spies. Really? Really? You think that's what it was? You really think? What if it was the Chinese and us together tested for weather modification, which is probably what they were doing? It's insane. It's insane. All right. That's my rant. Thanks for coming on.